Well, good morning, gentlemen. We are watching a rewatch between the Analrapists, which are comprised of Travis, Taylor, Alex, and young Nick Barney. Against, we've got the Udaho, which has Adam, Tyler, and Colton. When we look at them, I currently have Travis pulled up. Travis at 335 had 4,000, or he had 60 on wood, 50 on food, 70 on gold. Really, this is a great build. You know, he's sitting pretty. Got his cavalry going. He needs more houses, but we can see he's building more houses right now, so he's getting there. So Travis had a really a perfect start. And let's look at the scores. Taylor's a little ahead of him, but, you know, I'm very impressed with Travis's start and where he's at. Taylor's at 54, 62, 44, and 17. So in my mind, Travis is a little ahead of Taylor, even though the score doesn't say that. But, you know, potatoes, they're both right where they want to be at. Those are you want a 50-50-50 is what I look for. I want to be over 50 in all three of these if I can. Or at, either over or at, unless the Civ does not require it. But for both of these Civs, they kind of want all three. So yeah, Taylor's looking good. We look at Mr. Alex Vanskoy, 48, 43, 37, looking good. He's, you know, finishing up still, but he looks good. And then Nick, still getting going. He's pop capped. He's built a bunch of houses. I'd be building them back here. But, you know, to each their own. He's Imperial Age, though, and that's big for him because his Civ gets the harbors. So all of these are going to turn into mini castles, which is really the big thing for Nick. You know, if we can get a bunch of Nick's barracks, or not barracks, harbors up, that's going to be massive for his team. On the other side, we look at Tyler. He's kind of the anchor of this team, sitting on 77, 40, and 17. You can see he's building a bunch of dudes. He's going with archers and some siege. You know, it looks like he's prepping to go. Trades up. We look at Adam. 52, 75, 73. He's the Vikings, I might add. So, you know, he should have a pretty healthy water presence is what I would be expecting for him. I don't think that we actually see that this game, but we'll see what he does end up doing. As far as, and then Colton was the Huns, which if you're going to have him go the Huns, I'm surprised that they didn't have him go Spanish to get the trade bonus, because the Huns and the Spanish, I mean, the only difference between the like big difference is obviously you don't have to build houses, which is something that then you don't have to think about houses. But the trade-off for helping all of your guys make 25% more gold just makes sense to have to build houses. So if you're gonna, and I don't think that he played a bad job as the Huns. I just think that you get a lot more from the Spanish for a similar play style. So, you know, to each their own on what they want to do. We see that Colton's sitting at those numbers of 42, 40, 52, 38, or 40. Like, all of these are high numbers. He's got a really good start going, especially considering he's the low player on this team. These are great numbers, Colton. Taylor was talking about it after the game, and I tend to agree with him that I think that you are better than some of the credit that we gave you early on when we were building the teams. And that's part of why Team Udaho doesn't currently have a fourth player, is because all three of these guys are good at what they're doing. So, yeah. Let's speed this up a little bit. Let's get to Treaty Drop. I think we're about ready. I'm going to keep it on Adam. But like I said, I'm really surprised that Adam didn't have any defensive. Like, he doesn't have a single dock. As the Vikings, if you're not going to utilize their water, why go there? That just makes no sense to me. Okay, Treaty Drop is up. game has started, and I want to watch Travis, because Travis, at Tree Drop, sends a bunch of these guys. So we also see that they're over here, so they're fighting. While this is all going, Travis sends these guys around, and these are the ones that we need to follow. Because this is actually the game. This right here is the game. Everything else falls apart from this group of paladins right here. They run around. And they just go through all of this military. And they could have gone in right here, but they didn't. So they go through right here. Oh, it's so bad. It's like, no! They get in right here, and this puts the Marcus Team Udaho on their heels the rest of the game. I don't know why he's attacking that. That is literally what I'm for. Like, come on, Travis. You better than that. So then he gets another one in over here. So Travis just gets a bunch of cavalry. That's what's happening. We see that Travis has built some forward stuff. And we're going to see more fighting along these lines. Now Alex is getting stuff in. So there's a weak link here. And we just feel that there weren't, why aren't there Viking ships in this? Where are the Viking ships? Especially because he's got the wood and gold to maintain Viking ships. So where are they? Those needed to be there really badly. On the other side, we see that Taylor's been holding off Tyler. There's kind of been a back and forth here. Let's see here. So Alex has built forward stuff. But it doesn't matter because Travis has just eaten up all of... he's eaten the trade at this point. Just really wrecked Adam is what he's done. Tyler's built a bunch of castles here to kind of contain Travis. He doesn't want to go near this. You see that Colton has been sending troops just all over to help defend, but it's it's too little too late is what it is. And like I said before, man, build 4 of these right here with these dudes, and get a defense going, something that's going to just eat up these troops. You put them on defensive stance right here, and they'll just eat up all of these guys. But when you're trying to do 18 things at once, it's hard. On the other side, now Taylor's cooking, putting that extra added pressure on them. You see Travis is plunging on the other side now, trying to get into Colton. Let's look at military units. So Travis is still in. Travis is in Tyler's base now. Yeah, I'd have been digging in with boats, because you can defend with boats. But now Taylor's built, cannon galleons that have kind of shut this whole section, this whole area down. Multiple layers to this map, and I definitely think that Team Udaho really suffered from having not played on this map before. That's this is one of those maps that you need to know what you're doing before you get into it, because I think that they didn't really have a great game plan for it. They hadn't played it before, and so figuring out how we're going to do this is different. But it is what it is. The plunges were very effective on the other side. This is why you want to wall it. You know, instead of having to build all of these walls here, you know, if Tyler had built just a wall here, or maybe a wall here with a gate at one spot, you know, instead of all of this extra walling. You know, who knows? I think that the walling situation is a major issue. But at this point, Taylor's in. We got Travis with a huge presence. Colton's the only one that I'm seeing that's really putting up a great fight over here. And he's doing actually a great job. Yeah, shout out to Colton, because that was impressive that he was able to help out as much as he was. You know, that's really Adam and Tyler are the guys that should be winning these matchups, and they're not. No. Now Taylor's in as well, and that's the thing. When once Taylor was rolling, it was like, this game's over. And I'd be leaving these markets up. I'd be leaving markets up and just keep some dudes posted here that will just kill the trade. You know, you don't want to kill the markets. You want to know where the markets are. You want to know where the trade cards are going. But man, that's just a Tanner thing. Maybe I shouldn't say that out loud. But these units are good against everything, but the camels are going to eat up the camels. That's the one thing that's dangerous with the camels. But those things die to arrows like nothing. The arrows rip through camels. One of those funky units that are just funky. Yeah, see, all the arrows are really what killed all of these guys. But there's a lot of green over here. A lot of green and a lot of teal. Taylor built all these hand cannoneers after the game before when he didn't build any cost in the game. Funny how you overcompensate sometimes. Although I guess Adam is building a bunch of infantry and stuff. Yeah, hand cannons make sense. That's essentially GG, I think. Let's look at. But what's crazy is the scores are still. So, although I think it's tilted because of Nick, because Nick's not doing much. Nick's just chilling here, you know, and that's totally fine. You know, his team doesn't need him to do anything. Nick, if you're watching this, when you have this much resource, just spend it on military and just throw him in the fight. No, it doesn't matter what you're building as long as you're building something. Tyler's turned at this point. This was a big win for the Analrapists. He needed this. And Colton is just fighting the good fight. You gotta love how much he is just trying his darndest to keep people alive. What's going on with what's his Civ look like? So he's got 28 and 30 still going. I'm amazed. Good job, Colton. Doesn't give up easily. And you gotta respect anyone who doesn't give up that easily. That's what I was telling the guys that, you know, the Marcusins have the smaller team, but this is a gritty team because I know I personally would have quit by this point in time. And they're still not just fighting, but believing fighting. They're still giving it their all, and that's impressive. That's a lot of money, by the way. That's a ton of money. Like a lot of resources right there. with his free the two-handed swordmans that don't cost any gold. If we had those as champions, they'd probably be OP. Because I like the melee. They're a good turn. Not the 4-man's goth. This is kind of what I view them as. I mean, there's other ways you can play it, I guess, but I know that they're one of Kevin's favorites. So they gave up the ghost. At least Tyler did, which means Adam will, and Colton will soon as well. There was a GG. Well, fine. Let's leave the map. Let's look at the scores right now. So military score, Taylor had the highest. I think that Taylor, came in and wrecked once he was in, but I don't think that Taylor won that game. I really believe that it was Travis getting in early. Because I think that if Adam and Tyler had been able to get rolling the way that they wanted to, I think it's anyone's game. But they were hurt by, one, not really knowing what was going on the map, and then two, getting punched in the mouth by Travis early on. I think that changed their whole game plan. So have a look at that. Nick with almost a 1-to-1 KD, nice. Look at economies. Taylor's got the most food and stone. Tyler had the most wood. Travis had the most gold. Love having the most gold. It's always nice when you got the most gold. Travis is cooking really fast. So Taylor had tons of relics, which he should have gotten it for. Travis should have dropped that and given it to Taylor. You are a bad teammate, Travis. Taylor is the Lithuanians, and you're taking the relics from him? What are you doing? You know that his Civ gets better when he has relics. That is the most rude thing I can imagine. Wow. So, alright, whatever. It's fine. Don't be greedy. So, once again, congratulations, Analrapists. Everyone's teams need to be discussing with themselves what they want to do in the event of a 5-way tie. If my team loses to Austin's team on Sunday, which I'm not planning on, I'm hoping that we can beat them. But those teams are gritty. That team, especially Austin's team, is gritty right now. And if we do have a 5-way tie, it's been proposed that we do another round robin, another everyone plays everyone, which would take another 4 or 5 weeks. If people are against that, that's fine. But as of right now, the Udaho and the Analrapists have both voted for that. The other option would be having a free-for-all single game with one representative from every team playing. Or if your team is the one team that says, no, we're not going to do it, then I guess we bump that team out and just move on to the playoffs. But I think that's kind of lame. I'd rather do a 5 weeks with everyone. But, be thinking about that. We'll be discussing that if that happens. In the event that it doesn't happen, playoffs are next week. Good luck, boys. Captain out.